A smug HOA thought they could break a black couple with a fine for their unkempt lawn, until their landscaping company rolled up, turned the suburb into a green masterpiece, and left the haters choking on their own shade. Marcus and Lena Washington, a black couple thriving in a ritzy Marietta suburb, were slapped with an HOA fine for their vibrant lawn, labeled unkempt, in a clear jab at their roots. But their small business, Green Roots Landscaping, didn't just clap back. They transformed the entire neighborhood, exposing prejudice and planting a legacy of pride. This wasn't just a yard fight. It was a raw, defiant stand for dignity, community, and justice, turning a suburb's lawns into a revolution and leaving the HOA in the dust. Before we dive deep into this blazing story about growing respect against hate, drop a comment and let me know where you're tuning in from. If this tale of a couple and their green hustle throwing hands with bias hits you in the soul, smash that like button and subscribe to Narratives of Black Struggles for more real talk on America's racial game. Your support keeps these stories poppin'. Picture a pristine Marietta suburb, where manicured lawns reign and an HOA plays king, but one couple's about to catch heat for their soul. Marcus and Lena Washington, armed with grit and green thumbs, face a fight they didn't pick, but their hustle's about to flip the script. Let's jump into the story, where the heat kicks off. Marcus Washington knelt in the soft earth of his front yard, trowel in hand, planting marigolds under the searing Georgia sun on June 7, 2025. Oak Ridge Estates, a polished Marietta suburb, buzzed around him, sprinklers hissing in unison, kids weaving bikes through cul-de-sacs, the air thick with the crisp scent of fresh-cut grass and blooming azaleas. At 42, Marcus was a pillar, his fade razor-tight with a dusting of gray, brown eyes sharp like a hawk scanning the horizon, his Green Roots Landscaping t-shirt and work jeans stained with soil but worn with undeniable swagger. A leather wristband, etched with Roots Run Deep, a 10th anniversary gift from his wife, Lena, rested on his wrist, catching the sunlight, her voice a steady pulse in his mind. Grow strong, Marcus. We built for this. He was tending their half-acre lot, the gold petals of his marigolds a tribute to his late father's Mechanicsville garden, when a white envelope from the Oak Ridge Estates Homeowners Association, HOA, taped to his mailbox, stopped him cold. Today, a routine yard day was about to spark a war, testing his grind and igniting a battle he didn't see coming. His black-owned hustle on trial in a suburb that worshipped conformity over soul. The house, a two-story brick colonial on Magnolia Lane, was their hard-earned dream. For bedrooms, a wraparound porch, a sprawling lot bought 5 years ago after decades of sacrifice. Marcus and Lena, both Atlanta natives, grew up in Mechanicsville, where dirt lots doubled as playgrounds and neighbors were kin, but their relentless hustle, Marcus's landscaping business, Lena's accounting firm, propelled them into Oak Ridge, one of Marietta's upscale enclaves. Their lawn wasn't a putting green, with patches of clover, wildflowers, and Aisha's fragrant herb garden, but it was alive, a vibrant tapestry of their roots, defying the HOA's sterile code. Their daughter, Aisha, 16, lounged on the porch steps, sketching garden designs on a tablet, her braids swinging, voice bright. "Dad, we need more time in the herb patch. It's gonna be dope." Marcus grinned, wristband warm, Aisha's fire his spark, their home a fortress in a suburb that didn't always vibe with their blackness. Lena emerged from the house, her sundress flowing like a river, braids coiled high, brown eyes fierce yet warm, a coffee mug steaming in her hand. At 40, she was a force, running Washington Financial Services, her accounting firm that kept black-owned businesses thriving across Atlanta. "You get out here, babe," she called, her voice smooth, Atlanta drawl thick, her gaze catching the envelope in Marcus's hand, her vibe shifting like a storm cloud rolling in. Aisha looked up, tablet paused, voice curious. "What's that, Dad?" Another HOA nag. Marcus slit the envelope, his wristband glinting, and pulled out a letter, the HOA's logo glaring like a badge of authority. His jaw locked as he read. Violation. Unkempt lawn, $500 fine. Rectify within 7 days or face lien. Marcus's chest burned, the trowel slipping from his grip into the dirt, Lena's mug freezing mid-sip, Aisha's tablet lowering. "Unkempt," Lena said, voice sharp, striding down the porch steps, snatching the letter from his hand. Our yard's thriving, Marcus. This ain't about clover, it's straight up shade. Aisha's eyes narrowed, her voice hot. They're wilding, Mom. But it's 'cause we're black. Marcus nodded, wristband warm. Lena's voice his anchor. We built for this. The HOA, led by Karen Mitchell, a white retiree with a clipboard, a perm, and a permanent smirk, had been on their case since they moved in, nitpicking too many cars in the driveway, griping about loud music at Aisha's birthday cookout. Now this fine. Their neighbors, mostly white, kept lawns like golf courses, their sprinklers synchronized like a military drill, but Marcus and Lena's yard, bursting with native plants and wildflowers, stood out like a flag, their blackness a target in a suburb that craved sameness over soul. Lena scanned the letter, her accounting mind dissecting the jargon, voice low. $500? They're out their damn minds. Unkempt ain't even in the bylaws, Marcus. This is personal, targeted. Marcus stood, dirt dusting his knees, voice steady. They want us to bow, Lena. Ain't happening. Aisha pulled her phone, fingers flying across the screen, voice fierce. I'm posting this on X. Let him know they're shady as hell. Lena grabbed her hand, voice calm but steel. Hold up, baby girl. We fight smart, not fast. The yard was their heart. Marcus's marigolds a tribute to his dad's resilience. Lena's switchgrass a stand for sustainability. Aisha's herbs a dream of culinary creations. A tapestry woven from Mechanicsville's grit, not Oak Ridge's cookie-cutter greens. The fine wasn't just a bill. It was a jab, a coded slap from Karen Mitchell's unkempt verdict. You don't belong here. Marcus had felt this shade his whole life, a constant undercurrent in a world that often questioned his place. In Mechanicsville, cops had profiled his teenage self, sneering at his dad's rose beds like they had contraband, their flashlights probing for trouble. He'd pushed through, learning resilience from his dad, a janitor who grew flowers in concrete, who taught Marcus to plant with purpose, to see beauty where others saw barren ground. His wristband, given by Lena on their 10th anniversary, was a testament to their shared fight. Roots run deep. Green Roots Landscaping, launched in 2010 after years as a groundskeeper, was his hustle. 10 employees, serving homes, schools, churches, specializing in sustainable yards with native plants that thrived without chemicals. Lena, his rock, had built her firm from a kitchen table, outsmarting white accountants who labeled her aggressive for her brilliance, her spreadsheets a shield against shade. Aisha, their junior at Marietta High, ran an X account, at Green Vibes Only, posting garden art and calling out bias, her activism a flame that burned brighter with every post. Their family was a fortress, but Oak Ridge's HOA was a gatekeeper, the fine a blade aimed at their roots, slicing at the pride they'd cultivated in their home. The street stirred, a low hum breaking the suburban quiet. Karen Mitchell's golf cart rolled up, her clipboard gleaming under the streetlights, blonde bob bouncing, eyes cold behind oversized sunglasses. Mr. Washington, she said, stepping out, heels clicking on the pavement, her voice sweet but laced with venom, like sugar masking poison. Your lawn's an eyesore, a clear violation of our code. Unkempt, unsightly. Pay the $500, fix it, or we'll escalate to a lien on your property. Marcus's jaw tightened, his wristband warm against his skin, voice low and measured. Our yard's healthy, Karen. Native plants, no weeds. What's the real problem here? Lena stepped forward, the letter crumpled in her fist, her voice steel. This unkempt nonsense is bias, and you know it. Show us other fines. Bet we're the only ones getting hit. Aisha filmed, her phone steady, voice low. Got you, Karen. X is watching. Karen's smile faltered, her clipboard twitching, her voice sharpening. Follow the rules, or face consequences. This isn't personal, it's standards. She sped off, the cart's hum fading, neighbors peeking from windows, some curious, others glaring, the air crackling with tension like a storm about to break. Lena's eyes blazed, her voice a low growl. They're coming for us, Marcus. This ain't about grass, it's about us being black in their suburb. We're fighting this, legal, loud, and green. Marcus nodded, picking up his trowel, his voice fire. Green Roots ain't bowing. Let's flip our yard, show him what we grow, make it undeniable. Aisha's phone glowed, her fingers flying. I'm dropping this on X, sketching a new yard. Marigolds, grasses, stone paths, herb beds. Let's make it lit, y'all. The find was a spark, Karen's shade a match, their yard a battleground ready to erupt. Marcus and Lena's hustle, landscaping, accounting, family, was forged in Mechanicsville's concrete, their roots too deep to pull. Oak Ridge was about to witness what green roots could plant, and the HOA's leash was already fraying, set to snap under the weight of their fight. Magnolia Lane and Marietta's Oak Ridge estates thrummed with defiance under the Georgia dusk, June 14, 2025, a week after the Oak Ridge estates HOA's $500 fine branded Marcus and Lena Washington's lawn unkempt, igniting a fire that spread beyond their half-acre lot. Marcus stood in their front yard, Green Roots landscaping t-shirt clinging with sweat, brown eyes fierce like a storm brewing over Atlanta, his leather wristband, Lena's Roots Run Deep gift, catching the streetlight's glow. At 42, his fade was tight with gray flecks, his calloused hands gripping a shovel, the yard a work in progress. Marigolds budding in golden bursts, switchgrass sprouting in soft waves, Aisha's herb garden fragrant with basil, thyme, and rosemary. Lena, 40, sat on the porch, her sundress flowing, braids coiled high, eyes slicing through HOA bylaws on her laptop, her accounting mind dissecting the fines coded bias. Aisha, 16, sketched garden designs on her tablet, braids swinging, voice hot. This yard's about to be straight fire, y'all. X is gonna lose it. The HOA's shade, Karen Mitchell's unkempt jab, was a match, their yard a fuse, Green Roots landscaping ready to plant seeds across the suburb, their hustle poised to shake Oak Ridge's manicured turf to its core. The yard was their soul, Marcus's marigolds a tribute to his dad's resilience, Lena's native grasses a stand for the planet, Aisha's herbs a dream of culinary creations, a living canvas of Mechanicsville grit defying Oak Ridge's sterile greens. Aisha's ex-post, HOA finding my parents for our unkempt lawn? It's bias, y'all. Hashtag Oak Ridge Shade had detonated, racking up 5 million views, comments hyping. Y'all's yard slaps. HOA's wilding. Trolls sniped. Mow it, follow the rules. But supporters drowned them out. Ms. Davis, a black neighbor down the street, dropping off homemade cookies, her voice warm. This yard's pure art, Marcus. Don't let him dim you. Karen Mitchell's golf cart rolled by daily, her clipboard a weapon, her lean thread a leash tightening around their home, her shade. You don't belong. A code the Washingtons had faced their whole lives. Marcus's shovel paused, his wristband warm, Lena's voice his anchor. We built for this. Lena scrolled through the HOA's bylaws, her accounting precision cutting through the vague legalese, her voice low and sharp. Their code's flimsy as hell, Marcus. Unkempt ain't defined. It's a straight-up trap. Marcus nodded, digging into the rich soil, his voice steady. They're targeting us, Lena. Bet those putting green lawns down the street ain't getting fined. Aisha's tablet glowed, her voice fierce. I'm sketching a native garden, marigolds, switchgrass, stone paths, herb beds. Let's make X go wild. The fine, $500, enough for a truck payment or Aisha's art supplies, stung like a slap. But Karen's unkempt label was a deeper wound, a jab at their blackness in a suburb where sprinklers ran like clockwork and lawns mirrored golf courses. The Washingtons were no strangers to shade. Mechanicsville cops had profiled Marcus's dad's garden like it had secrets. Buckhead clients dismissed his landscaping as wild. Lena's firm faced aggressive labels from white rivals who couldn't match her smarts. Their colonial, bought with years of sweat, was a fortress, but the HOA, led by Karen's clipboard tyranny, was a gatekeeper, the fine a blade aimed at their roots. Marcus's Green Roots landscaping, launched in 2010 after a decade as a groundskeeper, was lean but fierce. 10 employees, serving homes, churches, schools, specializing in sustainable yards with native plants that thrived without pesticides. Lena's Washington Financial Services kept Black-owned businesses afloat, her spreadsheets a shield against shade, her client list a testament to her hustle. Aisha's ex-account, at Green Vibes Only, posted garden art and called out bias, her activism a flame that burned brighter with every post, her followers climbing past 10,000. The fine was a spark, Karen's shade a match, their yard a battleground ready to erupt. Marcus's dad, a janitor who grew roses in Mechanicsville's cracked dirt, taught him to plant through barriers, to see beauty where others saw nothing. His wristband, given by Lena on their 10th anniversary, a testament. Roots run deep. Lena, his rock, had built her firm from a kitchen table, outsmarting doubters with her brilliance. Aisha's fire, her ex-clout, lit their fight, her voice a call to arms. We ain't their Stepford clones, y'all. Lena stood, her laptop snapping shut, her voice sharp like a blade. HOA meetings Tuesday, Marcus. We're exposing their bias, fighting the lean, and dragging M for filth. Marcus dropped his shovel, his wristband glinting, voice steady, and we're flipping our yard. Green roots can outshine their fake-ass grass. Show M what we grow. Aisha's tablet buzzed, her voice hyped. Flyers ready, native yards, low water, black-owned vibes. X is about to eat this up. The plan took root, challenged the fine, transformed their yard into a masterpiece, pitched green roots to neighbors as a sustainable alternative. They rallied their forces. Marcus's crew hauled marigolds, switchgrass, and stone from their supplier, their laughter a shield against Karen's patrols. Lena crunched numbers, redirecting funds from her firm to cover legal fees, her voice low. Jamal's on the lean, babe. He's building a bias case that'll bury him. Aisha posted her garden designs, trending with New Yard Alert, #GreenRootsVibes. The Washingtons weren't alone. Ms. Davis, a retired nurse who'd lived in Oak Ridge for a decade, stood with them, her voice fierce. Karen's been shady since y'all moved in. I'm riding for you. The Garcias, a Latino couple 2 houses down, nodded, their kids hyping Aisha's sketches. That herb garden's dope. Mr. Patel, a white engineer across the street, watched from his porch, his curiosity piqued by the yard's glow. But Karen's allies, golf shirt couples with pristine lawns, whispered at mailboxes, their glares sharp. They're ruining the aesthetic. The HOA meeting loomed, a battleground where the Washingtons would face Karen's clipboard and her standards, their fight a test of roots against concrete. Tuesday's HOA meeting packed the clubhouse, 70 neighbors crammed into folding chairs, the air heavy with tension. Karen at a podium, her clipboard gleaming, blonde bob stiff as her smile. Marcus and Lena sat front row, Aisha filming, her ex live streaming. HOA versus my fam, round 1. #OakRidgeShade. Karen's voice dripped honey, masking venom. Oak Ridge thrives on high standards. The Washington's lawn, unkempt, unsightly, violates our code. The $500 fine stands, and compliance is required. Marcus rose, his t-shirt clean, his voice steady like a drum. Our yard's healthy, Karen. Native plants, no weeds, sustainable. Where's unkempt in your bylaws? Show us. Lena stood, her sundress sharp, her voice steel. This fine's bias, plain and simple. Show us other fines. Bet we're the only ones targeted. The room stirred, Ms. Davis nodding. They're right, Karen. Spill the tea. A white couple in golf shirts, the Thompsons, muttered. Rules are rules. Follow M or leave. Karen's smile tightened, her clipboard twitching, her voice sharp. Your clover's a weed, Mr. Washington. Pay the fine, or we'll file a lien. This isn't personal. It's about maintaining Oak Ridge's prestige. Aisha's live exploded, HOA's wilding. #GreenRoots, comments hyping. Y'all's yard slaps. Karen shook. Karen banged her gavel, her voice cold. Meeting adjourned. The Washingtons left, neighbors whispering. Ms. Davis slipping Marcus a note. I'm with y'all. Redo my yard. Back home, Lena's eyes blazed, her voice low. They're scared, Marcus. Our yard's a threat to their control. Let's make it a statement. Marcus nodded, his wristband warm, his voice fire. Green Roots is planting seeds. We're growing, and they ain't ready. They hit the ground running. Marcus's crew hauled marigolds, switchgrass, and river stone from their supplier, their laughter a shield against Karen's daily golf cart patrols. Lena crunched numbers, redirecting her firm's profits to cover legal fees and yard upgrades, her voice steady. Jamal's got the bias case locked, babe. We're suing for discrimination. Aisha's ex-post trended, her garden designs, curved paths, herb beds, gold blooms, going viral. Yard makeover alert. #GreenRootsVibes. The Washingtons canvassed the neighborhood, Marcus and Aisha knocking on doors, Lena drafting proposals. Ms. Davis signed first, her voice fierce. "Redo my yard, y'all. Screw Karen's fake grass." The Garcias, their kids buzzing with excitement, joined, followed by Mr. Patel, his voice soft. "Your yard's art, Marcus. I'm in." 5 contracts landed in a day, green routes booked for new lawns, X trending with Oak Ridge going green. Hashtag Green Roots Vibes. Karen's cart rolled by, her glare venomous, a new letter taped to their mailbox. Lien filed, $1,000 penalty for noncompliance. Lena's eyes burned, her voice low. "She's panicking, Marcus. We're sprouting, and she can't stand it." Aisha filmed the letter, her voice hot. "HOA's wilding, y'all. We're growing, and they're shook." Hashtag Oak Ridge Shade. The Washingtons' yard was transforming, gold marigolds in full bloom, switchgrass swaying like a dance, stone paths curving like rivers, herbs scenting the air. A Mechanicsville soul shining in Oak Ridge's sterility. Neighbors slowed their walks. Kids pointed, delivery drivers snapped pics, the yard a beacon of defiance. The seeds were planted. Legal fight, yard glow, neighbor allies, their roots cracking Oak Ridge's concrete, ready to grow a revolution. Oak Ridge Estates shimmered under Marietta's June sunrise. June 21st, 2025, 2 weeks after the Oak Ridge Estates HOA's $500 fine for Marcus and Lena Washington's unkempt lawn sparked a fire that spread beyond their Magnolia Lane home. Marcus stood in their transformed front yard, his Green Roots landscaping t-shirt soaked with sweat, brown eyes blazing like a Georgia dawn, his leather wristband, Lena's Roots Run Deep gift, glinting in the early light. At 42, his fade was tight with gray, his calloused hands raking soil, the yard a masterpiece. Marigolds bursting in golden waves, switchgrass swaying like a quiet hymn, Aisha's herb garden fragrant with thyme, basil, and rosemary. Lena, 40, reviewed landscaping contracts on the porch, her sundress crisp, braids coiled high, eyes slicing through lean notices, her accounting firm's laptop humming with purpose. Aisha, 16, filmed a time-lapse of their yard for X, her braids swinging, voice hyped. "This yard's straight up fire, y'all." Hashtag Green Roots Vibes. The HOA's shade, Karen Mitchell's $1,000 lien, was kindling, their yard a beacon, Green Roots landscaping sprouting across 15 Oak Ridge lawns, their hustle shaking the suburb's sterile turf to its core. The Washingtons' yard was a living testament, gold blooms standing tall, green grasses flowing, herbs scenting the air, drawing eyes from neighbors, joggers, even school buses rolling by. Aisha's X-clips of their yard's glow had exploded, hitting 10 million views, comments roaring. "This slaps." HOA shook. Ms. Davis, a black neighbor 3 houses down, dropped off a pitcher of lemonade, her voice warm. "Y'all's yard's a whole vibe, Marcus. Keep shining." Karen Mitchell's golf cart patrolled daily, her clipboard a fading weapon, her lean a desperate jab, her shade, "You don't belong," crumbling under the weight of their defiance. Marcus's crew, 5 black landscapers, lifelong friends from Mechanicsville, worked dawn to dusk, hauling mulch, planting marigolds, their laughter a shield against Karen's glares. Lena's firm, Washington Financial Services, redirected profits to fund legal fees, her voice low. "Jamal's building the bias case, Marcus. We're taking the HOA down." Aisha's X account, at Green Vibes Only, trended with 20,000 followers, her post blazing. "Green Roots versus HOA, Round 2. We're sprouting." Hashtag Oak Ridge Shade. Marcus raked, his wristband warm, Lena's voice his anchor. "We built for this." The HOA meeting had laid bare Karen's bias, her unkempt label undefined, a flimsy excuse to target their blackness in a suburb of golf course lawns. Neighbors had split. Ms. Davis, the Garcias, a Latino couple, and Mr. Patel, a white engineer, hyped Green Roots' sustainable yards, while golf shirt couples like the Thompsons backed Karen's standards. The Washingtons' yard, sustainable, pesticide-free, was a tribute to Marcus's dad, who grew roses in Mechanicsville's cracked dirt, a man who taught him to plant through barriers. Green Roots Landscaping, now with 10 employees, served 20 homes, their yards a bold statement of soul and sustainability. Lena's firm thrived, her spreadsheets a sword slashing through shade. Aisha's garden sketches, her ex-clout, were pure fire, her voice a rallying cry. We're rewriting their playbook, y'all. Lena stood, her laptop snapping shut, her voice sharp like a blade. We've locked in 15 lawns, Marcus. Let's pitch the whole damn block. Show him what Green Roots does. Marcus dropped his rake, his wristband glinting, his voice steady. Green Roots can run Oak Ridge, Lena. Let's make these lawns sing. Aisha's tablet glowed, her voice hyped. Flyers done, native yards, low water, black-owned vibes. X is about to eat this up. The plan grew roots. Contest the lien in court. Transform their yard into a showpiece. Pitch Green Roots to neighbors as the future of Oak Ridge's landscapes. They rallied their crew. Marcus's landscapers hauled switchgrass, marigolds, and river stone from their supplier, their laughter echoing through the suburb. Lena crunched numbers, redirecting firm funds to cover legal fees and equipment upgrades, her voice steady. Jamal's got the bias case airtight, babe. We're suing for discrimination, and we'll win. Aisha's ex-posts went viral, her garden designs, curved stone paths, herb beds, golden blooms, trending. Yard makeover alert. Hashtag Green Roots vibes. The Washingtons canvassed the neighborhood, Marcus and Aisha knocking on doors, Lena drafting proposals with surgical precision. Ms. Davis signed first, her voice fierce. Redo my yard, y'all. Screw Karen's fake-ass grass. The Garcias, their kids buzzing with excitement, joined, followed by Mr. Patel, who'd watched their yards glow from his porch, his voice soft. Your work's art, Marcus. I'm in. 5 contracts landed in a day, Green Roots booked for new lawns, X trending with Oak Ridge going green. Hashtag Green Roots vibes. But Karen's cart rolled by, her glare venomous, a new letter taped to their mailbox. Lien filed, $1,000 penalty for noncompliance. Lena's eyes burned, her voice low. She's panicking, Marcus. We're sprouting, and she can't handle it. Aisha filmed the letter, her voice hot. HOA's wilding, y'all. We're growing, and they're shook. Hashtag Oak Ridge shade. Asterisk. The Washingtons weren't alone. Ms. Davis, a retired nurse who'd faced her own HOA shade, stood firm, her cookies a small act of rebellion. The Garcias, who'd moved from Kennesaw seeking a better school for their kids, saw parallels in Karen's gatekeeping. Mr. Patel, an engineer who'd kept his lawn pristine to avoid trouble, was drawn to the Washingtons' defiance, his quiet support a crack in Oak Ridge's conformity. But Karen's allies, the Thompsons, a white couple with a pudding green lawn, and others in golf shirts, whispered at mailboxes, their glares sharp. They're ruining our aesthetic. The Washingtons' yard was transforming, gold marigolds in full bloom, switchgrass swaying like a dance, stone paths curving like rivers, herbs scenting the air, a Mechanicsville soul shining in Oak Ridge's sterility. They pushed harder. Marcus's crew worked overtime, planting marigolds and switchgrass in Ms. Davis's yard, the Garcias, Mr. Patel's, their laughter a shield against Karen's patrols. Lena met with Jamal, their lawyer and Lena's brother, his voice crisp, the lean shaky. Lena, we've got proof of bias. Karen's emails, neighbor finds. Courts in 2 weeks. Aisha's ex-live, Green Roots takeover. Hashtag Oak Ridge vibes. Hit 15 million views, her followers hyping. Slay. Black excellence. The Washingtons pitched more neighbors, landing 10 new contracts. Black, Latino, white families. Green Roots booked for 25 lawns, their sustainable designs a middle finger to Karen's code. The suburb stirred, neighbors slowing their walks, kids pointing, delivery drivers snapping pics, the yard's a beacon of defiance. Karen's cart rolled by, her glare icy, a new letter taped. Court date set, lien enforcement, $2,000 penalty. Lena's eyes blazed, her voice low. She's desperate, Marcus. We're sprouting, and she's losing control. Marcus stood in their yard, his wristband warm, his voice fire. Green Roots is running Oak Ridge, Lena. Let's keep planting. Aisha's tablet glowed, her voice hyped. X is with us, y'all. This ain't just a yard, it's a movement. The fine spark, Karen's shade, was fuel, their yard's afire, Green Roots ready to sprout a revolution, the HOA's leash fraying under their relentless hustle. Magnolia Lane in Marietta's Oakridge Estates burst with life under July's Golden Sunday, July 15th, 2025, a month after Marcus and Lena Washington's Unkempt lawn find ignited a green revolution that transformed their yard into a native masterpiece. Marcus stood on Ms. Davis's lawn, his Green Roots landscaping t-shirt crisp, brown eyes blazing like a Georgia sunrise, his leather wristband, Lena's Roots Run Deep gift, glinting in the heat. At 42, his fade was tight, his crew, 10 black landscapers, friends from Mechanicsville, planting marigolds, switchgrass, and river stone, their laughter echoing through the suburb. Lena, 40, reviewed contracts in their home office, her sundress sharp, braids coiled high, eyes slicing through HOA lien notices, her accounting firm's laptop humming with purpose. Aisha, 16, filmed a drone shot of their blooming yards for X, braids swinging, voice hyped. Green Roots taking over Oakridge, y'all. Hashtag Oakridge vibes. The HOA's shade, Karen Mitchell's $2,000 lien, was kindling, their yards a blazing rebuttal. Green Roots landscaping now reshaping 35 Oakridge lawns, their hustle blossoming across the suburb like wildflowers in spring. The Washingtons' yard was a showpiece. Gold marigolds standing tall, switchgrass flowing like a river, Aisha's herb garden scenting the air with thyme and basil, drawing crowds from neighbors, joggers, even local news vans. Aisha's ex-clips had gone nuclear, hitting 30 million views, comments roaring. Yard straight fire. HOA shook. Ms. Davis, a black neighbor, hosted neighbors on her porch, serving lemonade, her voice warm. Y'all's yards are life, Marcus. Keep shining. Karen Mitchell's golf cart patrols had slowed, her clipboard a fading weapon, her lean a desperate jab, her shade, you don't belong, crumbling as Green Roots' yards glowed. Marcus's crew worked overtime, mulching, planting, their vibe unbreakable, their laughter a shield against Karen's glares. Lena's firm, Washington Financial Services, redirected profits to fund legal fees and new equipment. Her voice low. Jamal's bias case is locked. Marcus. We're burying the HOA in court next week. Aisha's ex-account, at Green Vibes Only, hit 50,000 followers, her post blazing. Green Roots versus HOA, Round 3. We're blossoming. Hashtag Oakridge Shade. Marcus planted a marigold, his wristband warm, Lena's voice his anchor. We built for this. The HOA meeting had exposed Karen's bias. Her unkempt label a flimsy excuse to target their blackness in a suburb of golf course lawns. Neighbors had split. Ms. Davis, the Garcias, a Latino couple, and Mr. Patel, a white engineer, hyped Green Roots' sustainable designs, while golf shirt couples like the Thompsons clung to Karen's standards. The Washingtons' yard, sustainable, pesticide-free, was a tribute to Marcus's dad, who grew roses in Mechanicsville's cracked dirt, a man who taught him to plant through concrete. Green Roots Landscaping, now with 15 employees, served 40 homes, their yards a bold statement of soul and sustainability. Lena's firm thrived, her spreadsheets a sword slashing through shade. Aisha's garden sketches, her ex-clout, were pure fire, her voice a rallying cry. We're flipping their whole playbook, y'all. Lena stood, her contract stacked, her voice sharp like a blade. We've got 35 lawns locked in, Marcus. Let's pitch the whole damn suburb. Make Green Roots the standard. Marcus dropped his shovel, his wristband glinting, his voice steady. Green Roots can run Oakridge, Lena. Let's make these lawns sing. Aisha's drone buzzed overhead, her voice hyped. Flyers done. Native yards, low water, black-owned vibes. X is about to eat this up. The Washingtons push their plan, contest the lien in court, transform their yard into a showpiece, pitch Green Roots to every neighbor as the future of Oakridge's landscapes. They rallied their forces. Marcus's crew hauled switchgrass, marigolds, and river stone from their supplier, their laughter echoing through the suburb. Lena crunched numbers, redirecting firm profits to cover legal fees, new hires, and a second truck, her voice steady. Jamal's got the bias case airtight, babe. We're suing for discrimination, and we'll win big. Aisha's ex-posts went viral, her garden designs, curved paths, herb beds, golden blooms, trending. Yard takeover alert. Hashtag Green Roots Vibes. The Washingtons canvassed relentlessly, Marcus and Aisha knocking on doors, Lena drafting proposals with surgical precision. 10 new neighbors signed, Black, Latino, white families. Green routes booked for 45 lawns, X trending with Oak Ridge going green. Hashtag Green Roots Vibes. Ms. Davis's lawn, the Garcias, Mr. Patel's, and now Mrs. Lee's, a white retiree who'd once backed Karen, glowed with marigolds and switchgrass, their yards a patchwork of soul. Ms. Davis hosted a block party, her porch packed with neighbors, lemonade flowing, her voice loud. Y'all's yards are giving life. The Garcias grilled carne asada, their kids playing tag, Mr. Patel's yard blooming with native grasses, his voice soft. Your artists, Marcus. Mrs. Lee, once hesitant, brought pie, her voice shy. I was wrong about your yard. It's beautiful. Aisha's X Live, Green Roots Block Party. Hashtag Oak Ridge Vibes. Hit 40 million views, her followers hyping. Slay. Black Excellence. Karen's cart rolled by, her glare venomous, a new letter taped to the Washington's mailbox. Court date set, lien enforcement, $3,000 penalty for noncompliance. Lena's eyes burned, her voice low. She's desperate, Marcus. We're blossoming, and she's losing control. Aisha filmed the letter, her voice hot. HOA's wilding, y'all. We're growing, and they're shook. Hashtag Oak Ridge Shade. Asterisk Jamal, their lawyer and Lena's brother, called, his voice crisp. The lien's a house of cards, Lena. We've got Karen's emails. Proof she targeted y'all. Court's in a week, we're ready. The Washington's yard was a showpiece. Gold marigolds in full bloom, switchgrass swaying like a dance, stone paths curving like rivers, herbs scenting the air. A Mechanicsville soul shining in Oak Ridge's sterility. Neighbors slowed their walks, kids pointed, news vans circled, the yard's a beacon of defiance. The suburb was shifting, 50 lawns booked, Green Roots a household name. Karen's patrols dwindling, her standards fading like a bad dream. Marcus stood on Ms. Davis's lawn, his wristband warm, his voice fire. We're running Oak Ridge, Lena. Let's keep planting. Lena nodded, her voice steel. Let's take the whole suburb, babe. Aisha's drone soared, her voice hyped. X is with us, y'all. This ain't just yards, it's a takeover. The fine spark, Karen's shade, was fuel, their yards afire, Green Roots blossoming, the HOA's leash snapping under their relentless hustle. Oak Ridge Estates bloomed under Marietta's October glow, October 15th, 2025, for months after Marcus and Lena Washington's Unkempt lawn find ignited a green revolution that reshaped the suburb into a vibrant tapestry of soul. Marcus stood in their Magnolia Lane yard, his Green Roots landscaping t-shirt crisp, brown eyes blazing like a harvest moon, his leather wristband, Lena's Roots Run Deep, gift, glinting in the soft light. At 42, his fade was tight, his crew, 20 black landscapers, a family forged in Mechanicsville, tending 150 Oak Ridge lawns, schools, and city parks, their laughter a symphony echoing through the streets. Lena, 40, finalized contracts in their expanded home office, her sundress sharp, braids coiled high, eyes shining with pride, her accounting firm's laptop humming with new deals. Aisha, 16, filmed a drone montage of their blooming empire for X, braids swinging, voice hyped. Green Roots owns Oak Ridge, y'all. Hashtag Oak Ridge Vibes. The HOA's shade, Karen Mitchell's $3,000 lien, was ash, their yards a triumphant blaze, Green Roots landscaping a Marietta legend, their legacy a harvest no bias could uproot. The Washington's yard was a masterpiece, gold marigolds towering, switchgrass flowing like a river, Aisha's herb garden scenting the air with thyme, basil, and rosemary, drawing crowds from neighbors, tourists, even national news crews. Aisha's X clips had gone global, hitting 200 million views, comments roaring. Yard's a whole vibe. HOA's done. Ms. Davis, a black neighbor, hosted block parties on her porch, serving lemonade, her voice warm. Y'all's yards are giving life, Marcus. Karen Mitchell had resigned, her letter posted on the HOA's website, stepping down for health reasons. The lien was voided, their bias case won in court, $30,000 in damages awarded, plus legal fees covered, X trending with Green Roots slays HOA. Hashtag Oak Ridge Vibes. Marcus's crew worked, planting, mulching, their vibe unbreakable, their laughter a shield against the last whispers of shade. Lena's firm, Washington Financial Services, thrived, her voice low. We're funding Aisha's college and a new Green Roots truck, Marcus. This is our legacy. Aisha's X account, at Green Vibes Only, hit 500,000 followers, her post blazing. Green Roots runs Marietta. Hashtag no more shade. Marcus raked, his wristband warm. Lena's voice his anchor. We built for this. The HOA's bias, Karen's Unkempt label, had targeted their blackness, but their yards, sustainable and soulful, rewrote Oak Ridge's rules. Neighbors united, Ms. Davis, the Garcias, Mr. Patel, Mrs. Lee, a white retiree who'd flipped from Karen's side, block parties buzzing with kids playing, grills smoking, lawns blooming with marigolds and switchgrass. Green Roots Landscaping, now with 25 employees, was a beacon, their yards a movement serving 200 properties, lawns, schools, city parks. Lena's firm grew, her spreadsheets a sword slashing through shade, her client list a testament to her hustle. Aisha's garden sketches, her activism, were pure fire, her voice a rallying cry. We changed the game, y'all. Lena stood, her contracts towering, her voice sharp. We're at 200 properties, Marcus. Let's pitch city contracts, parks, schools, take Green Roots statewide. Marcus dropped his rake, his wristband glinting, his voice steady. Green Roots can run Georgia, Lena. Let's harvest this. Aisha's drone soared, her voice hyped. Flyers out, green cities, black-owned vibes. X is pushing it hard. The Washingtons pitched relentlessly. Marcus and Aisha at city halls and school boards. Lena crunching costs with surgical precision. 30 schools signed, 10 city parks booked. Green Roots a brand. X trending with Marietta going green. Hashtag Green Roots Vibes. The court win. Lien voided. Damages paid. Sparked sweeping reform. HOA bylaws rewritten to ban vague violations. Bias training mandated for board members. Karen's shade a distant memory. Oak Ridge was a canvas. 200 lawns, schools, and parks blooming with marigolds, switchgrass, and herbs. A green soul pulsing through the suburb. Ms. Davis hosted a massive harvest festival. Her porch packed, lemonade flowing, her voice loud. Y'all's yards are life. The Garcias grilled carne asada. Mr. Patel's kids ran through sprinklers. Mrs. Lee baked pies, her voice soft. You changed us, Marcus. Aisha's X Live. Green Roots Harvest Fest. Hashtag Oak Ridge Vibes. Hit 300 million views. Her followers hyping. Slay. Black Excellence. Jamal, their lawyer, called, his voice crisp. Case closed, Lena. HOA's paying all fees, and they're rewriting their whole code. Marcus's crew planted, their laughter a shield, their yards a legacy, sustainable, black-owned, unstoppable. Marietta transformed, 250 properties booked, Green Roots a legend, Karen's shade dust. Marcus stood in their yard, his wristband warm, his voice fire. We own Marietta, Lena. Let's grow Georgia. Lena nodded, her voice steel. Let's take the state, babe. Aisha's drone soared, her voice hyped. X is with us, y'all. This is our harvest. The fine spark, Karen's shade, was fuel, their yards of fire, Green Roots a legacy, no HOA could uproot. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to know what true strength looks like. Join us at Narratives of Black Struggles for more stories that shine a light on resilience and justice.